Power Book 4 Force. Tommy is back in the flesh. Haven't seen him in a while, so it's exciting as hell to actually see him back on the mini screen.
For sure, man. Definitely excited to see that blue Mustang pulling up.
For sure. So in the opening scene, we see Tommy driving his car. Obviously, he's driving from New York to what's supposed to be LA. And he's contemplating on everything that's kind of happened to him in New York and kind of contemplates taking his own life because of what happened with Keisha and Holly and Cash and just everybody that kind of
did
him wrong or
lost all his family. Yep, Tasha and Tariq betrayed him. It's just, that would be a lot for anyone, man. So it's not surprising to see that fleshing out. I think it's interesting, though, that they chose to go that route because they don't really touch on that all. Well, maybe for certain characters they do, but they don't really touch on the mental anguish that you would have to be going through to live the type of lives you would live in Power Universe. You know what I mean? So it was very, very human to see that, out of Tommy. The LA thing confused me a little bit because LA just does not seem like Tommy's scene. He does not seem like a West Coast kind of guy. Like I feel like Chicago is the farthest west Tommy should ever go. I agree. That's about as far as you should go. Illinois is like, do not cross this point.
It definitely suits him quite a bit. I'm loving the all Chicago soundtrack so far. We got You Mad by Vic Mensa. We got the theme song with Jeremiah on it. Like I'm kind of liking the scene that they're kind of setting with the soundtrack.
Yeah, we'll see how long that stays that way.
We're gonna hear a little Dirk on the track next.
How did you get through that many rappers without saying anything about fucking Kanye West?
We'll see. Who knows?
I don't think that'll end up on there. I don't think 50 will let that happen.
Technically, Kanye is on You Mad, so technically he is on that song.
Oh, you're right. I mean, a Kanye single though. He'll put Chance on there, before he put Ye anywhere near Power. I love my wife,
Let's hope he does not.
Yeah.
Let's just fingers crossed that does not happen. So basically, Tommy goes to find somebody in a neighborhood. This guy presses him for parking money and to no avail.
Oh my God, bro. This is a Chicago parking sign.
So he finds out that the person that he was looking for got moved to Mulherns, which we don't officially know what it is, but we kind of find out that it's a nursing home. And the person that he's looking for is an old white lady, which we don't know.
Assuming that's his grandmother. I think that's his grandmother, Kate's mother. I think you're safe to assume that because he said to her when he saw her that Kate told him that she was dead. So I think that's his grandma.
So later on they kind of flesh that out that's who that person is. We get into a scene where a prison barber is cutting the guard's hair. The guard is kind of
a prison barber named Sampson. Now, if you under 30 years old, your name is Sampson, you've lived a lot of life.
That's a fact.
You lived a lot of life.
You an old head. You a young old head.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, your name aged you 10 years before you were ever born.
That's a fact.
Sampson.
That's a fact. So we see him cut the guy's hair. The guard is kind of saying, like, I want you to get out and not come back. But then we also see a Hispanic gang who kind of seems like, look, let him get comfortable, but we're gonna put that hit out once he gets comfortable back in Chicago. We also later actually see Prison Barber get out, or Sampson get out. And before he gets out, he lets a guy have a pair of Jordan 21s that were fresh as hell.
Which he put them on one time before he went down.
Which lets me know that we're at about 15 years. He probably did about a 15-year bid because he probably just got those, then went in. So I'm thinking about 15 years.
For sure.
And then Lil Bro picks him up. Lil Bro's kind of shining. He got a Porsche. So, he's kind of the guy who's going to end up giving him the lay of the land.
Hey, look, I might have sold you them shoes. Ain't no way in hell I'm walking out barefoot out of prison. Ain't no way in my socks.
With puddles everywhere?
Like, damn, no. Give me some fucking slippers or something. Give me something out the lost and found.
Give me some of them Kanye slippers.
What kind of deal is that? I give you the 21s and you let me walk out of prison barefoot? What type of nigga is you?
I don't know. That was kind of weird. Tommy walks into a bar and orders a double shot of JMO.
That sounds
Real
like a
nigga.
beginning of a joke.
Real nigga.
Sounds like the
Ordering a
beginning of a
double shot
joke.
of JMO. He walked in and ordered a double shot of JMO. Starts flirting with the bartender who looks like Maya. Kind of look like Maya a little bit.
Discount Maya.
Okay. Great value, Maya.
Shorty's side profile was nuts. It just wasn't hitting. I felt like they did a lot to make her like the sultry, you know, love interest and Tommy's new love. Nah.
She's almost like if Maya and Sade
had a baby together.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And then later on, we obviously see Tommy get into another scuffle over a parking spot. Only this time, this is a real scuffle. He almost ends up fighting the guy, but then kind of restrains himself. The guy who was in the car basically told him, look, don't mess with the Flynn family. They're not to be fucked with. And then two of the guys who were kind of in the altercation with him go into the bar. Mm-hmm. But not before one guy says, fuck Larry Bird and fuck Tom Brady.
Fuck Tom Brady. This Boston motherfucker. Tommy like, Boston?
Not even close, fam.
I wonder why he assumed he was from Boston like that. Like, just straight up. Blonde hair, blue eyes, you must be from Boston. Fuck Larry Bird.
Like, no accent, nothing.
Nothing.
So then we see an Irish family who are kind of having an argument, a back and forth about whether or not the woman in the family should be doing some of the street work.
Very tropey, very, very rewashed. I didn't like this part because this is like, okay, so what? We're getting forced Diana. That's what this is. Like, come on, man. Like, is there a drug dealing family in America that doesn't treat their daughter like she's an invalid? Like, doesn't treat her like she's special needs or something? Like, come on, man. Goddamn. She knows what's going on. You're not making her get her degree for nothing. She obviously knows the inner workings of the business. Plus, I believe she's the older sibling, if I read that right. So it's just like, it's very antiquated. You know what I mean? It's very overdone. It's almost to the point that I can't actually believe it as a realistic arc anymore, because who's still thinking like that? Yeah. If your daughter makes you more money or is more efficient than your hothead son, obviously you're going to let her run it, or you're just a fool. And if you're a fool, you probably never made it to the point of owning this big ass mansion in Chicago anyways.
It's almost as if the power writers are thinking in their heads, girl, she has to be smart and intelligent, but doesn't do any of the street work. And then,
very basic,
big brawn, they have to do all the street work and do all the killings. And
it's very basic. It's very stereotypical. It makes me feel like we're not necessarily going to have a fully fleshed out arc, or at least one that feels, satisfying, because it's going to feel very generic if this is where we're starting out.
Well, what we see later on is a scene where that same girl goes into a bar. She sees an Asian girl that she likes, takes her home, and then they do drugs, and then they kind of have sex with each other. And then she asks her, what was that? Like, what's going on with this drug? And so it sounds like she's getting put onto a drug that nobody else in the city knows about. So maybe that is the way for her to leverage a position in the family.
Okay. We'll see.
Potentially. We would hope, at least.
Yeah, we'd hope.
Tommy is basically enjoying his drinks and his food and whatnot. The guy, Simon, kind of hints that the Flynn family are having some sort of beef with the Jamaican family. And I found that interesting because in the bar, they also have a Jamaican flag. So I don't know, obviously she's doing business with the Flynn family, but then she has the Jamaican flag. So I don't know. I guess maybe she's playing both sides.
Is she supposed to be Jamaican though? You know what? I mean,
or maybe the Jamaicans just own the bar and she just works there. So I don't know. There's some kind of weird.
But the bar, no, the bar is the Flynn's place. Remember, because that was the whole thing about the parking. It wouldn't have been an issue if that was the Jamaican's place. But yeah, the Jamaican flag thing, is interesting. I think they're probably going to make it seem like she probably from that side of town, but she just works for the Flynn's, or maybe she had a relationship or has a relationship with somebody in that camp, but she just works for the Flynn's, so she's neutral. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting that there's both sides clearly at play here.
Yeah.
But we also see Simon go to the back, go to the little alley, and that's where Tommy decides to whoop his ass.
Like, yeah, bro, you've been talking too long, too tough. Let me show you who Tommy Egan is.
But not only that, Tommy took it upon himself to say, well, Tom Brady can eat a dick, but Larry Bird is a national treasure. Tommy is a real one. Tommy is a real one.
Well, first of all, we're not going to sit up here and have this argument that Larry Bird is a bigger icon than Tom Brady, are we? Or is that the argument that we're going to have here?
No, not at all. But Tom Brady can eat a dick. That's for sure.
So can Larry Bird.
All right, fair enough. He's just a real one for saying Tom Brady can eat a dick.
Magic Johnson over here, boy. Fuck a Celtic.
All right. No, that's fair. But Tom Brady can eat a dick. That's the point.
He's the GOAT. He can eat what he eats grass.
Bye. Okay. All right. Anyway, so after that, Tommy and I don't think I ever got her name, but I'm gonna call her Maya for the rest of the series. Tommy and Maya have sex, and her love is like, whoa. And
shut the fuck up. Shut up.
And so then afterwards, they kind of get to talking about prior relationships, and they kind of bond over it a little bit. She's obviously been married to somebody, and Tommy's had his relationships.
Power missed their random sex scenes so much with all of these adolescents and all these preteens and ghosts. They like, hey, we know, sex is gonna be a little awkward at some of these spots for us. We're gonna throw the Everett and Drew sex scenes in there every now and again. Tariq got some indiscriminate booty. They alluded to him getting some booty a couple times, but a power sex scene, that's Ghost, Angela, Tasha, Notori, Naughton, full frontal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's right. What they really miss. That's what they really want to get to. They like, man, let's use this premium TV time slot that we got.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They missed the hell out of that, because it was just like, I'm almost disappointed that this happened so fast. It was almost cartoonish how fast it was, how quick she threw it at him. Like, oh, you beat up the jerk that comes to my bar? Your soup is ready.
Fact. No, that's a fact.
I'm like, damn, girl, you can't hold on to it for no longer than that. I guess you just broke up with homeboy, didn't you? That's Carrie's sister in Chicago.
Her Chicago cousin. Yeah. Yep. Don't be surprised if you find out she has some sort of sex addiction.
Yo, that's Carrie's kin. Why are they writing these women in there like that, man?
Can't tell you. Have you noticed how, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, Twitter, anything like that there's a lot more backlash for Drew and Everett scenes, but you ain't hear shit about the lesbian sex scene at all.
The lesbian.
I just thought that was weird. With the Flynn girl and the Asian girl.
Oh, because they like that shit.
Come on, man.
Funny. That's just funny. Listen,
that's just hilarious to me.
Don't begrudge it. I'm glad that that they're part of the Power universe. I'm glad that Drew's story is told in a way that makes his sexuality, it's inconsequential. It's a part of who he is, but it's not like the driving force of who that character is. Like I like that. It's authentic. It's real. It's how it is in actual life. So that's why, like, the Drew and Everett, romance, it's not a big deal to me. But yeah, obviously the in your face about it, because it's not something that you typically see on TV. So it's gonna have a more visceral reaction, because it's like, it's like 2-3 years ago when they start putting dicks all over the damn screens. Like now you can't watch your premium television show without a penis popping up at least once a season. So it's just, it's shocking. It is shocking.
So Tommy reconvenes with Vic, puts a gun in his back, and basically makes him go with him to the deal that they have. this deal kind of seems a little shaky because there's a couple of tweak heads in there.
So we in Chicago, right? And the biggest drug dealer in Chicago is dealing with crackheads to buy his product. Or excuse me, the biggest drug dealer in Chicago's son is dealing with crackheads to buy his product.
It was so weird. But I mean, a situation that Tommy can go into and help everybody and save everybody.
But it was just like, bro, how was this void this wide open already? He didn't even have to cause no ruckus. He literally just walked into a situation that was already fucked. It's like it's set up very, 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 very well for him.
Oh, it's very convenient.
Mm-hmm. Very convenient.
So that situation, obviously, Tommy got to take some drugs and some money out of the situation. Tommy has a brother through Kate.
He has a half brother. Yeah.
Never mentioned at all, or
well, I guess maybe Kate she didn't. Is an awful person. Yeah, you don't expect her to tell him nothing. She told him that his grandmother was dead.
Facts. Yeah, she is definitely an awful person. I mean,
yeah, she's fucking terrible. But
facts.
I was about to be pissed at Tommy when he was at that gas station and he threw away the dude's number. I'm like, first of all, why did you write his number down on a piece of paper? And you have a fucking iPhone.
Just so he could throw it away. That's how.
Like, did you write this down just to throw it away? When he sat up there and he said, "Just give me your number," I kept expecting to see him pull his phone out. This nigga started writing down on a fucking piece of paper.
Yep. Nope. That's how power writers work.
Like it's 1995.
It's like we didn't take a time jump here.
Yeah, I was going to be salty at him had he not, reconciled with him. Because I think he needs a brother. He needs somebody to watch his back out there.
Do you think that brother is going to be somewhat involved in the game at some level? He didn't seem like it.
Well, yes, I do, because this is power and no one's safe. I would like to say I hope he stays out of it. I hope Tommy finds a way to keep him safe, because we know that usually, much like Tariq, people who orbit Tommy usually end up fucked up in some kind of way. So,
yeah, no, that's true. That's true. We'll see. We'll definitely see from that. We also see the prison barber, aka Sampson. He just received a barber shop from his little bro, because little bro knows how to buy back the block. And then a strange person walks in who I would assume is of Jamaican descent, maybe, who basically is like, "Look, I'm watching you. I know who you are." Some kind of foreshadowing, I would think.
Okay, ass cop.
You think he's a cop?
Punk ass cop. He is a cop. He showed him his badge. You didn't catch that?
I missed that.
Yeah, he as soon.
I thought it was a gun. I thought it was a gun. I thought he showed him a gun.
He went to go grab something like a razor or something like that, and as soon as he sat back, his badge popped out, and so he eased up. He was like, "Oh, okay, all right." He was like, "All right, okay." I know what time it is. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a gun. I thought I saw a gun.
Oh, yeah, it was a badge. He a cop.
Okay.
He a cop. Okay.
Okay.
Now he may be a Jamaican cop, and he could be double dipping. You know what I'm saying? Inside man for whoever this Jamaican crew is.
Could be. Walter Flynn seems to be the guy in all of this. So generally, any thoughts about the scene where he obviously talks to Tommy, thanks him, but says, "Get the fuck out of my city"?
Yeah, I think we are in for a very good performance from Mr. Flynn. Shout out to the Scotsman from Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Another show I didn't watch. It's the Scotsman, man. He's a really good actor. He's a good actor. He's even showed up in Mayans, a couple episodes of Mayans, in the second season, I believe. So, dope actor. I'm expecting a lot as being the big bad in this one. Why is Tommy staying in Chicago? And why is it relevant for him to be having this whole situation with him, with Flynn, right? Because without it, it doesn't, he's in a whole nother part of the country right now. So everything that's going on in New York is in no way, shape, or form connected to Tommy. So they'll have to find little ways. And it's probably going to be through what I ask about you next, or the question I ask of you next, to try to keep this keep the tissue connected back to the overlapping story of Power right now. I was going to ask you, do you have any early predictions on Power holdovers that'll show up in Force?
So people from the original series who
From
show
the
up.
original series, right?
I guess I wonder if 2-Bit is ever going to show back up. Considering he showed
exactly
up in
who I was thinking
Ghost.
about.
Showed up in Ghost, and then I would assume he was going to go look for Tommy after that.
After he killed his homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
2-Bit is my number one for sure to show up here. Everybody else is dead. Anybody else that would have been messing with Tommy is dead. So yeah, 2-Bit for sure. I expect to see
Kate is probably going to show up at some point.
Tommy,
just because of
can I call the mistake?
You know what I mean? At some point, she's going to show up and then try to explain away the whole brother angle of it, probably. But
and telling me my grandma was dead.
Yeah, that's all going to be a scene or two. So
I forgot about Kate. Yeah, Kate will show up.
Well, maybe Cash too. What's going on with Cash? Cash
he's living with Jesse Williams
at this point. You know,
he's living with Jesse Williams. No, he ain't 18 because Tariq is barely like 18, 19 years old. He was.
Oh yeah. Cash. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. He's old enough to know what's going on in the street stuff. So
we'll see.
Maybe. The last thing I really want to tell you really quickly is that I enjoyed the fact that it's in Chicago because I think they've done a little bit of research on what's going on in Chicago, making the family Irish, long Irish history in the city. They talked about the segregation between the North Side and the South Side and the West Side. So I'm interested to see how this kind of goes into kind of the city as well.
Sure. Give us your thoughts and comments on episode 1 of Power Book 4 Force. Tommy's setting up shop. What do you think? Give us your thoughts.
And make sure you subscribe. We'll be talking about this all season, every week when it comes out. Make sure you check out our playlist for Power reviews from Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Book 3 Raising Kanan.